So let's begin our practice. Find a comfortable seat, please. And just start to settle yourself in as I introduce the theme of today's class. Brahmacharya, you've all heard of the Yamas and Niyamas, right? The Yamas and Niyamas are the two lowest branches of the tree, the 8 limbs of yoga. And there are 5 yamas and 5 niyamas. The 10 together make up these suggestions of how we can live more soulfully. When this was first taught, it was taught as, we call it non-excess or moderation. But in the early days, it was always taught in terms of sexual energy. Well, in this day and age, we use this to point us to this idea that even good things in excess can be bad for us. It's possible to do too much yoga, as much as it pains me to say that. It's possible to over-exercise. You know that you can make yourself ill by drinking too much water. So we're going to look at a practice this morning of non-excess, of finding enough in these poses, enough, and then examining when we have this tendency to push to excess, to go beyond enough. All right? So that's the starting point of our practice. So go ahead and find your comfortable seat, move your hips around, move the flesh. If you like, you can close your eyes or just shift your eyes down so that your attention comes inward. Start to notice gentle breath coming in and out of your nose. And right away, we can do a practice of excess. So bring a breath in that sounds like a hard sniff. And exhale forcefully. Do that a couple times. And notice how that's excess, right? We think that if this is good, then more must be better. Try a softer version of that same breath. Breathe in through your nose more softly, but breathe in until you feel enough, and then let the breath go softly until you notice enough. Take in enough. Let go of just enough. And you might notice breathing like this creates a softening of the whole body, a change in the whole experience to enough. Where I sit right now is enough. This practice is enough. We'll do a few more examples of that. Inhale and squeeze your shoulders up by your ears, really, really, really tight and forcefully till you almost shake. And then exhale, drop them forcefully. Do that a couple more times. Really, really squeeze, make it hard knots, and then drop them down. And really squeeze, and then drop. Now let's find the practice of enough. Inhale to perhaps the same point, but with more softness, with more ease, with more flow, maybe a little more grace. Match that to that breath of enough in your body. And we'll start to make that shoulder circles. So the practice of Brahmacharya is going to point us again and again to a little more softness and humility in our practice, a little less ego and force. We'll begin this practice by paying attention to the middle of the body. So go ahead and bring one of your hands to your belly and take some breaths that you can feel pushing into your hand. As you exhale, pull the navel to the spine. And again, go to the point of enough, non-excess. Let there be a big, full, buoyant breath, but it's a soft, buoyant breath. Feel the softness of your belly moving, undulating with breath. And then let's follow that movement with a cow, a seated cow, and a seated cat. Start to follow the movement of your breath, the movement of your belly with cat and cow. This is where this starts to feel so good to me, moving like this, that I want to go to excess. It's like I crave a little bit more. Catch yourself if you're like that, going into those forced and hard edges, and repeat to yourself the word enough. Finding the place where it's enough. Pose is doing what it's meant to do. We're going to move a little bit faster, and faster doesn't mean harder. This is a kind of a Kundalini practice. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. You can use your mouth to exhale on this one, watching for hard edges while you build heat. Feeling heat building in the torso. 3 more times. Exhale all the way out. Inhale to a neutral spine and reach your arms overhead. Let's interlace the fingers, pressing the palms up, and feel again. Go to kind of a hard edge, a little force, and soften even 5%. Find enough. Notice now breath moving into the sides of your body, behind your shoulders, the back of your neck. Inhale just a little taller, turn the palms, and release the left hand to the floor, coming up into a side body stretch. Feeling the right side of your body. Exploring what is enough for you here. And back to center, switching sides. I'm definitely an excess person, so I always have to find, okay, where is too much? Where is excess? In order for me to come back a little bit to enough. You might explore that. What's it like when I go over the edge? Maybe my breath catches, maybe there's a point of sharpness. I'm going to back up from that, just 5%. Let's inhale to center and flow with breath. Exhale into your side body bend. Inhale back to center. So one more time, both directions, feeling the side muscles warming up and working. Gorgeous, everyone. Inhale, hands to the sky. Bring your palms together. Let them meet here in front of your chest. Elbows are going to lift high, so our forearms are parallel to the earth. And begin rotating right and left. Starting out, just exploring those natural edges. And then let's bring that faster breath to this action. So inhale one side, exhale other. building that heat, paying attention to the core, our power center, our place of strength, will, and determination. 3 more. And then inhale towards your right side, turn your palms down, pull the right shoulder blade back and set that hand behind you. Reach the left arm across your body, let it settle to your knee, and now find a deeper twist. You might find over the edge and then come back to enough. When we're always at the edge, when we're always pushing hard, our body stays in fight or flight. Our body thinks it needs to be on high alert when we're this tense. When we come back, even just 5%, our body starts to trust us and shift to that rest and digest place. Bring your hands back to heart center and let your torso muscles draw you over to the left. Flatten your palms, pull the left shoulder blade onto your back, drop the left hand, reach the right arm, and find the twist here. So test that out in your own body. When you force, when you go to that extreme edge, can you tell there's a different nervous system response? Alert, backwards a bit to calm. Allow your hands to come back to heart center. Drop your chin and pause for a breath here in enough. Perhaps we can all set an intention to move through the more active parts of this practice with this same intention, enough. Let's bring ourselves around to a tabletop position. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. And now you're free to move a little bigger. So cat and cow, we'll keep it slow. Exploring enough. Another way you can find this is paying attention to the inner body more than the outer body. And so you might notice when you come into cat, if you really stretch to extreme, you feel this on the outside of your skin. But if you find this 5% softer place, you start to stretch what feels like the inside of your skin, the place where your skin and your muscles meet. And it becomes a little more gentle, a little more calm, a little more relaxing. Tucking the toes, let's lift into downward facing dog with the same intention. So you might kind of push through the hard edge and then start to soften. Looking for the places where you tend to struggle against a posture. Brace against, grit your teeth. And those are the places you can start the softening. Start to find enough in the places that seem most resistant. Let's walk our feet to our hands and we'll come into this ragdoll position. Fingers touching. Head down, nod your head yes and shake your head no. Breathe in and breathe out with this softness. Let's start to rotate the torso side to side. So in the book that I'm reading from today, there's a story of a wealthy man in India. And the author went with him to his home. And when they walked into the front door of this very just beautiful palace-like home, the front door was about chest height. So when the man walked into his home, he had to bow. His reminder to always stay humble, to always bow to the beauty, the perfection around him, and never take things for granted. Enough. Bring your hands to your shins, lengthen into a flat back, find the edge, and then stay about 5% back from that edge. Exhale, fold. Do that a few times with your breath. You might start to hear the sound of your breath in your inner ears. Ujjayi breath, that whisper sound. Pressing to flat back, soften the knees, and let's slowly let the arms float up, extended mountain. When your hands meet, again, interlace the fingers, press the palms up. Find again that forced or hard edge, just so you know where it is. And then come back from that, just 5%. Feet are firmly pressing into the earth, core is engaged, and enough, non-excess. Turn the palms down, release the hands, left arm down to the side, reach the right arm up, find side body. Inhale, center, and switch. Move with your breath side to side, keeping the sound of your breath on the inside of your ears, and finding this place of enough with each movement, non-excess. You could call it the Goldilocks principle, just right. Beautiful, everyone. Inhale your arms high. Let's exhale, hands through heart center. We'll soften the knees and hinge from the hips into forward fold. Pressing to lift halfway and stepping into downward facing dog. Shifting forward into plank pose, pausing right here, again, to pay attention to the core. If this hurts your wrists, you're welcome to be down on your elbows in an elbow plank. We're going to work the core just a little bit here. So pick up the right leg and exhale the knee toward your chin. And as you inhale and exhale here, notice the tendency to grit your teeth, to rush through, and see if you can just be in a place of enough, of calm, even when the work gets a little harder. Let's extend and drop the toes, switching legs. A softness and ease. And plank pose. Dropping the knees to the earth, spinning the elbows. Let's lower down to the ground. Taking the fingertips off the edge of the mat, open up into cobra, maybe a tiny bit higher than cobra. Starting to bring awareness now up into the chest and upper back. Our place of connection. Exhale, touch your chin to the earth. Inhale, lift again. Exhale, touch your chin to the earth. Inhale again. And as you exhale, shoot your arms out wide in a T. Pick up your right foot and flip those toes over behind you. So you're going to find a stretch in your left front shoulder. Be aware of your lungs expanding inside of your rib cage. And rolling back to center. Extend the arms out into a T. You can bring your left fingers to the floor, bend your left knee, and roll that foot behind you. Now the right front shoulder is on the earth. Just feeling your lungs expand into this stretch. Coming back to center. Bring your hands right under your shoulders. Let's lift up into tabletop position. Exhale back. Child's pose, tuck your toes. Walk your fingers forward a little bit more, and let's just drop into that space that we've just opened. Chest, armpits, shoulders. Take a couple of deep breaths here as your head drops closer to your mat. Find enough. And then lifting the hips, let's find downward facing dog. You can find stillness here or pedal your heels, your choice. Stay inside of your skin. Stay 5% less than hard edges. Non-excess. Looking forward, feet come to the hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms reach, come up as tall as you can. And exhale, hands to heart. Pause again, check in with intention, the word enough. Being right here on your mat is enough. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take a vinyasa, plank pose, knees or toes, maintaining softness with the strength. Up and settling back into downward facing dog. Deep breath, everyone. Let out an exhale. Stepping the feet wide, the width of our mat. We'll bring our hands back about a hand length. Soften the knees. So we're going to stay with focus on chest and heart and upper back now. So the right hand comes to the left outer ankle or leg. And you're just going to pull. So as you push into the left hand, you're pulling with your right hand. And there's a twist happening here, strength and rotation. 5% less, non-excess. Find enough. Back to center, switching sides. Strong right hand, left arm reaches to the outer ankle. You can bend your knees here. But press into your hand and roll your gaze, your heart to the side. Enough right here. Returning back to center, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in and let your chest now sink closer to your legs. Head closer to the earth. Inhale up onto the toes, put a bend in the knees, and let's walk our feet to our hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Rise high, extended mountain. And then cactus arms open up through the chest that we've been working to expand. Finding space here. Imagine standing with your back against a wall, arms in this cactus position, and we're just going to guide the hands up and down. So imagine your arms are like wings attached to your shoulder blades. Keeping the elbows bent, finding the squeeze at the top and the squeeze at the bottom with a little less excess, a little more ease. And let the arms fall to your sides. Coming into eagle pose, a wonderful opener for the back of the heart. So come down into chair pose. We'll cross the left leg up over the right. You can have a kickstand. You can let that leg hang or wrap. The arms open up, stand tall, and then left arm under the right. Options, you can hug yourself. You can turn the arms into a V shape or wrap your arms. We're looking for some opening between the shoulder blades here. Send your breath there, the upper back, the back of your heart. This is the part of the body that represents our past, especially past relationships. Send breath there. Send enough there. Releasing the foot to the floor, stand and move in slow motion as your arms just float out to the sides. Palms turn up, chest lifts, chin lifts. Pause here. Release the arms down to the sides, switching sides. Come into chair. Right leg crosses left leg. Options, touch, hang or wrap. Arms out, and the right arm now goes under the left. Again, hug, V or wrap. Looking for space in the upper back. There's a lot going on in this pose, but let's give our attention to that one place. Send breath there. This is where we find energies of resentment, regret, guilt, shame, unforgiveness. Things that are unresolved can get stuck back here. Send a breath of enough into this space. We don't have to excavate. We just have to notice. Enough. Let's release our feet. And again, in slow motion, allow your limbs to receive fresh oxygen. Open the arms, palms up, chest up, chin up. Receptive, aware. Let the hands reach and cross through heart center, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, and exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take a vinyasa, knees or toes staying in non-excess. A downward facing dog. Continuing with attention to this heart space, shoulders, chest, upper back. Come forward, drop your right knee to the ground, and then open up left arm overhead. We're going to take some arm circles here. So reaching over the ear, the side body is long. Stay back 5% from excess. And then begin a circle. And draw a big circle. Moving with your breath. Just exploring the space around your shoulder, your chest, your upper back. This heart chakra. This is where we connect with each other. It's our place of love, compassion, and empathy. Take another reach, arm way up over the ear, find enough. And then that hand will rainbow over, pick up the leg, and let's find the ankle with our hand. Kicking the foot into the hand, pressing the chest forward. Breathe deeply into this opening, this expansion. Beautiful. Release. The arm comes up. Keep the arm at the ceiling as you turn to your knees, and then we'll scoop through, coming into thread the needle. I know some of you enjoy knot pose, so you're welcome to drop down onto your belly. Knot pose would look like this. Both arms extended out and head dropping down. So either thread the needle or knot pose. Paying attention to the back of the left shoulder. Exaggerate the breath. Staying with non-excess. Finding just enough. Maybe just asking ourselves, why do we push past enough? Why do we get to enough and then push to excess? What's behind that? Return to center. Come to a tabletop position, the left knee underneath us. You can kick that foot off as you open the right arm to the ceiling, right leg extends. Reaching over the ear and beginning the circle. I'm going to turn around to face you. So we're all going to have different answers to that question. Why? Why do I do that? And some of the obvious answers are our culture, our society requires that we push and do and achieve and get ahead and climb. We're conditioned to do more, more, more. Excess is celebrated in our society, and it's killing us. The stress, the tension, the anxiety, taking its toll. One more nice big circle, reach up and over, find the side body, find enough. And then fingers to the ceiling, float the leg, reach toward the ankle. We've all been given the message that in order to be valued, you need to do more. You are not enough as you are. Brahmacharya brings us back to the memory that, oh, yes, I am enough, just as I am, a human being with flaws and strengths. I'm enough. The way I show up here today is enough. Extend. Keep the arm to the ceiling as you return to a tabletop, and then either thread the needle or come into knot pose. The emphasis on the back of now the right shoulder. Direct your breath into your upper back. The healing warmth of your breath. Enough. Just enough. Sometimes it's as simple as checking in with what the body needs in the moment versus listening to the story that our mind is telling us. Maybe what's happening right now is just enough for the body, but the mind thinks it wants more. As we come out of this posture, let's find our way once again into a downward facing dog. Pedaling the heels, shifting the weight. And lowering the knees to the earth. Excuse me, coming up to a kneeling position with our hands on our hips. We started at the middle of the body. We made our way up. We're going to do a few things now to pay attention to our neck, our throat, our voice center. Starting here, tuck your toes under. Bring your hands to your hips and press your hips forward. Squeeze your shoulder blades onto your back and find a neutral neck. So let this be more about hips, belly, chest, and the neck stays neutral for just a moment. We're going to explore excess with the position of our head here. So in slow motion, lift your chin and keep going until you start to notice any point of strain for your neck, front or back, and pause there, just inside of that strain. There's no benefit in this pose by dropping your neck back, and in fact, there's risk. But we have a tendency to think that since we drop our head all the way back, we're into the pose more. Let your hips be in the pose. Let your shoulders be in the pose. And let your neck find comfort. Breathe. And then release. Either stay upright here or come down to sit on your heels. You can put a pillow under your hips. We're going to bring our hands over our heart, closing back in. Enough. I am enough. This is enough. Bring our hands to the earth. And we're going to put our crown of our head down on the mat. Take a second here to just get comfortable with the very top of your head. If you were a baby, this would be your soft spot on the ground. Hands are on the earth, and we're just going to lift our hips so that the chin comes toward the chest, and then reach the hips back so the forehead comes to the ground. So little tiny rolls to the back of the head and the front of the head. And we've got weight in our hands, so this isn't risky to the neck. And just exploring this movement in your neck. This gentle massage across the meridians, the pressure points on the top of your head. Enough. We'll go forward one last time to feel the stretch in the back of the neck, these cords where we take so much tension. So chin to chest, weight in your hands, just feel the stretch in the back of your neck. And releasing this, press up to a tabletop position and sweep your legs around in front of you. We're going to do a forward fold. So if you know that you like to use a strap, go ahead and grab that, put it around the bottoms of your feet. If you like your hips on a pillow, that's helpful for some bodies as well. Clear the flesh. Take a deep breath in, the spine nice and tall, and then start to just tiptoe your fingers forward. So you're moving from the hips more than the back at first. See if you can find that angle where your back is nice and long. And then listen for enough. Listen for excess as you choose how far you want to go into this posture. See if you can start to notice the crossing points where you cross over from enough to excess. This is a really great pose to practice because we all have a desire to touch our toes. We have a desire to go deeper, to push farther. Find your edge, your enough, and stay there. Noticing breath and the calm that's there when you're not forcing, pushing, pulling. The practice of Brahmacharya invites us to honor all as sacred, to honor self as sacred. And when we do that, when we honor all as sacred, even ourselves as sacred, we realize we are enough. Excess pushes us past what is sacred. Press onto your shins, lengthen the spine, and come back with that straight spine. Inhale the arms overhead. And exhale the hands to heart center. Lower yourself slowly down onto your back. And once you get there, hug your knees to your chest. Let out a long exhale. And we're going to come into a twist. So you get to choose the way your legs move into twist. The simplest version is shift your hips to the right, drop your knees to the left. If you'd prefer to cross legs or extend one, got lots of options. Play around for a minute to find your twist. And then open the arms out into a T. So your knees are to the left. We're going to turn the head to the left, looking the same direction as the knees. And then in slow motion, turn the head to look up and right. And do that a few times as you're in your twist, just noticing this easy, free rotation of the cervical spine. Shoulders stay on the earth. Soft, easy breath. And finish with the head turning right. Let the breath move deeper into your belly, your hips, your back. Easing the head back to center, the knees back to center. Take a second to find neutral. And then switch sides. Something similar as the knees drop to the right. Find your lower body place. It might be helpful for you to put a block between your knees, so that knee is not just hanging out in space. Look right. Roll your head to look left a few times. Just massaging the back of your head and loosening the muscles of your neck. Enough. And settle your head, turning to the left. Close your eyes, find your breath. Deep breath. Roll your head back to center. Draw your knees to center. Give yourself one more squeeze, knees to chest. Massage your back on the ground. And if there's one more thing that your body wants, desires, needs, take that now on your way into final rest. Check in with body over mind. Does your body want some core work? Does your body want an inversion? Is your body ready to take rest? Listening, observing what's happening right here under your skin. As you're lying in this restful place, you might bring one hand to your belly and one hand to your heart. One hand over your place of strength, and one hand over your place of softness. Courage and humility existing at the same time. Feel the way your breath moves underneath your hands. Just enough. The way you are here in this moment. Enough. What this moment offers. Enough. you feel ready to return to a seat, do so slowly, non-excess. Start with small movements of your head, your face, your fingers, your toes. Shift, stretch, yawn. Make your way to a seat. Let's bring our hands together in a gesture of gratitude. And even here, we can press really hard and just feel that urgency, that strain. Let's soften that a little bit and find enough here, even in the way our hands meet in front of us. When gratitude and wonder sit in the heart, there is no need for excess. Brahmacharya reminds us to enter each day and each action with a sense of holiness rather than indulgence. We've practiced for an hour. Now let's take this out into our day, into the world, moment by moment, looking for holiness over indulgence. You are enough. You're exactly what this world needs, as you are in this very moment. Namaste.